The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Dave Matthews Band, and time for a fact that makes your brain just go. Now, we talked about a movie that had the worst test rating in Hollywood history, but turned out to be a blockbuster. In fact, the producer said the test rating was so bad, he said, burn the negative, get the insurance, and let's just move on. And if they didn't do that, or I should say if they did do that, boy, would we be not having a movie in all of our lives.
Since they said to burn the negative and get the insurance money, is it Twister because they were in it for the money and not the science?
Interesting.
Jonas, son of a bitch.
It was not Twister. A lot of
That's
people
a
guessed. We had people guessing Fight Club. We had, Kenzie guessed The Godfather. Case guessed Roadhouse. Someone said Top Gun. I could see that testing bad, but then, of course, it kicks ass.
How could that ever test bad?
I don't know.
That in a theater changes your life. You feel like you're on a plane. It's awesome.
Some people saying Avatar, Shawshank Redemption, Star Wars. I remember George Lucas in the middle of it. They came to him and they said, because at the time that movie came out, disco was popular, and he wanted to use the symphonic where it opens, ba-na-na-na. And they said, no, you got to use disco music there. And I believe George Lucas had a heart attack and had to go to the hospital. Because he was like, I can't believe they want to do that. And eventually he fought his way and he got what he wanted, and we got that iconic opening.
Thank goodness.
That's what you do. No, the movie, and Kenzie's going to take big sides this one, and is part of a movie that Case has seen in his movie reviews, was Dirty Dancing. Dirty
That pisses
Dancing.
me off.
Yeah. Well, what pisses you off?
What a horrible audience. Who are they? I
Well,
want to know them.
I don't know the age range or what they were, but you see a movie, and a lot of times you're like, what's going on here? This is so stupid. But then it gets in the theaters, and somebody likes it, then you like it, and you watch it again, and you go, that's amazing. So, also in the Patrick Swayze universe. So,
Crazy for Swayze, baby.
they said, burn the negative, collect the insurance. But, and if you remember back in Case's review, so Dirty Dancing was made for $4.5 million. That's it.
So when they were making Dirty Dancing, they really struggled because they were on such a budget to get music. And that's why She's Like the Wind is in the movie, because Patrick Swayze had written that song years before.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get music. They couldn't get approved music, and it all sucked. He goes, you guys can use my song.
I don't
I
care.
think it fits, and not have to pay for it. So that's why that song is in the movie. He had written it years before, and they couldn't afford music.
She's like the wind.
I love that song.
So the movie, $4.5 million, but it made, at least in the box office, $214 million. But it's probably made over $1 billion now with movie rental stuff from that point on, and then streaming and all that. So there you go. It was Dirty Dancing in the Patrick Swayze universe. It's a tough call with Patrick Swayze movies, because Point Break was also on over the weekend, I saw, and then Roadhouse has been on, not just on the St. Patrick's Day thing, but boy, his resume is good.
Yeah, but Dirty
Ghost?
Ghost, yes,
Ghost
you're right.
is really
Ghost
good?
is one that I haven't seen. But let me tell you, Dirty Dancing, not at the top of my Swayze list. That was a movie that I did not enjoy.
Top of my Swayze list.
I was so disappointed. Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner has become this iconic line throughout American culture. And I was expecting it to be this whole big thing when he says it. And then he walks in the room and goes, no one puts baby in the corner. And then they move on. It's like, wait, that was it? How did that become the line?
Because he's so cool.
Yeah, but he mumbled it like he had dip in his mouth when he was saying, no, nobody's baby in the corner. It's like,
Can
oh,
I
that's it.
honestly say that if you are on social media a decent amount, over the past few years, they've done a deep dive on male gaze versus female gaze, things that females, what they find attractive versus what males find attractive, right?
Yeah.
And I can say that I feel like Dirty Dancing is a female gaze movie.
I
if
agree
that
with
makes
you.
sense. We find that relationship attractive. We find what he's saying attractive, how he handles himself attractive. It's a female gaze, not a male gaze movie.
Yeah, Case, you can't see that makes a female go, damn.
To say something like that to my dad, who's been disrespecting me, okay, let's go. You and me right now, partner.
I would love it. I'd love it if it was in a different universe that you and Case were dating, and at some point, your dad was doing something to you about get home, and then Case, try to say the line right now.
No one was baby in the corner. That's what he sounds like in the movie. It's awful.
Does that turn you on, Kenzie?
No, because you would never do that. You were scared. You would
Kenzie, are
be.
you turned on right now? Did I do it for you?
I am not, unfortunately.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101. 101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, Mumford & Sons, Rushmere, and that show will be at that this Saturday night for the premiere of the album with our listeners, and they'll get to meet the band. So happy we got to take care of you on this. But before we move forward to some wild local stories, we have to pour one out this morning.
How do I say goodbye?
For the Cubs season.
Oh.
They just lost 4-1 to the Dodgers over in Japan. The game just ended a few minutes ago, so they are 0-1 on the season.
Great. My husband's going to be in an awesome mood today.
You know what? Go to Arby's instead, Kenzie. Don't go home.
I know. I'm just going to sit at Arby's. I have a long season ahead of me.
I've told you before, you need more time alone to just sit in a parking lot. Today would be a good day to do that.
Yep. Another game tomorrow at 5:10 a.m. So, hey, there's always tomorrow.
Always tomorrow. Then, Brian, what are we doing on Friday, April 4th during the Cubs home opener?
Well, we are broadcasting live from Almost Home Tavern, one of our fave spots on the north side. We did it last year. We're doing it again. 6 to 10 a.m., a full broadcast, tons of free stuff for you and prizes on the Cubs home opener, which will be against the Padres 120 on April 4th. It's kind of weird. They're going to finish this Japan series, then come back here, chill out for a little bit, start the season, and then do the home opener on Friday, April 4th. We'll see you then. Okay, the season's not over. Good Lord. Fine. Season's not over.
I had our home opener, bro.
Good Lord.
It's going to be a funeral that day.
It's not over. It's not over. What is over is a Chicago Heights crematory because of the mishandling of remains of deceased people.
And just to explain, it's not an ice cream shop because you said it sounded very crematory. You hit cream real hard.
Am I saying that right? Crematory?
Yeah, but I think it's like crematory, like really fast. Like you're like creamatory.
Well, I do like ice cream when mishandling remains of
It didn't
people.
sound delicious.
Guilty.
This is actually a terrible story for the families. A couple of these stories are just off the wall today in our local stories. And Kenzie's been following this with her Kenzie Crime Brain on this one because this has been a story that's been going for a little while about the mishandling of it, of people, of deceased people. And now it looks like it's going to get shut down by the state down in Chicago Heights. So it's suspended their license to do what they do. And now it pretty much will be closed down. Some people said when I saw the pictures, I felt that our dog got a more dignified treatment in death than these people did.
Now, I don't know. Do you have it up, Brian, about what they were doing or no?
If you want to share more than I have here, then go for it.
And I only have so much information because it has. At first, it was just like, oh, bodies were found not being treated right, and now it's closing. So I think there's gonna be a lot more that comes out. But it's like they even had like kind of like trailers and like sheds in the back and stuff like that. They were storing like bodies in them. Like they weren't like up to date on like the cremation process. And I mean, it's like literally like they went in these trailers and stuff, like storage sheds, whatever you want to call them, in the back facility. Yeah. And there were just like bodies laying around. Now, it was horrible.
What I try to look at, and it's the Heights Crematory, by the way, which they have delicious ice cream there. Good soft serve. And
a little banana split action.
You just hit the word. You weren't wrong. You just hit cream really hard. That's all.
So is it crematory? Crematory.
It's crematory, but you were like crematory.
Well, I don't understand it as I sit here and think about it. The people who run the Heights Crematory, what's the benefit? Like, why don't you just burn? Because you cremate people. Why don't you just take care of it? What's the problem? What's holding on to them? Do they get money out of that? You think?
It is so weird because we've covered a story like this, and it was about 2 years ago. I think it was in Indiana though, and it was another like cremation spot that was doing the same thing. Like they were backed up on bodies. And so they were being stored horribly, and it's tragic for those families, right, that are trying to, have a peaceful, place for their significant others to rest or, their loved ones. And I said the same thing because it's like, why?
What's the holdup?
Yeah, and I feel like it's almost in a weird way. It's just it's like a scam or it's like laziness because you're collecting the money and you're not doing the job, right? And you're being irresponsible because it's probably a lot of work. So you're taking on business and you're not fulfilling your end of it. So it is weird because like, hey, just do it. And I see it as legit laziness and almost a scam because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're just like sitting around, but you're collecting the money.
I mean, we're pretty close to summer barbecue season, okay?
I don't know where the hell that's going with what what are you going to say?
Well, I'm inviting you and your families over to my house for a barbecue for the Weber grills. I'm a master. I'm a grill master, okay? Now, I will start the brats and the burgers and the chicken a little bit before you get there. I'm going to monitor all you guys. You got to find my phone. I want to know your arrival time exactly.
And what kind of seasonings are you using?
Oh, I've got the Gibson steak seasoning. I put that on chicken, too. It's delicious, even on brats.
Wow.
And then your burger or chicken or brat will be ready when you get there. And then, of course, I'm going to throw some more on quickly because I know Casey's going to want more than one.
Yeah, you know my fat ass.
Again, he's just really coming for you today.
What I'm saying is you can't stop the process. And these are people, these are loved ones that are sitting there. Why don't they just keep the oven fired up and keep it going, the crematory, with the soft serve?
I'd imagine that it's a different process than brats. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know either.
I think it's a different process. And again, it's a legit laziness. I would imagine it's harder work. So you probably have to do a lot of body prep, and then you're supposed to store the ashes. Like, you're supposed to do all these things. So it's really, I think, a scam because you can obviously charge people so much money for this because people pay a lot of money for, the aftercare of their loved ones, and then you're just not doing it.
We got a really ominous text from 815. It says, there's a lot of money in the body business.
Ooh. Yeah.
Now,
there you go.
You can't sell kidneys or livers or organs from a person that's passed. Although if you donate your body, like you can donate your eyes to somebody that can see, maybe they're doing that on the dark web because Kenzie lives on the dark web.
Can you donate
I don't
eyes?
live there. What does that mean? Wait a minute.
Remember when you got suspended by the company for going to the dark web?
I just said I don't know how to get there, so I typed in darkweb.com and then I got in trouble.
You got big trouble. Steve, our IT guy, sent an all-caps email saying, do not go on the dark web during the
to
show.
everybody, but it was very specific about who did it.
Oh, it wasn't all company, all staff.
My bad.
To your point, Case, yes, you can. Are you an organ donor?
Yes, I am an organ donor, and I judge people that are not organ donors.
Kenzie, are you an organ donor?
Yeah, I'm an organ donor. What do I care? What am I going to use it for?
I weirdly don't believe Kenzie. I don't think she's an organ donor.
Why?
I feel like you'd want...
You just said you don't like people who aren't, and then I bet Kenzie's not. Do you realize how rude that is?
I just feel like you want your organs.
No, what am I going to use them for? I don't care. You can have them now. I don't even care. Whatever.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Kenzie's crimes on the way, not involving the crematory in Chicago Heights, but another breaking local story that you probably saw across your timeline yesterday if you watched the news. A Downers Grove South teacher was charged and accused of sexually abusing a 15-year-old boy. This is a woman, Christina Formella, who's 30 years old. She was taken into custody Sunday during a traffic stop, and she's facing 3 sexual abuse charges for allegations involving a 15-year-old boy. The investigation began Saturday after the boy, who was 15 at the time, went to the police station with the mother to report the sexual conduct committed by her. I believe it was found because the kid needed a new phone. When they went to change over everything to the new phone on the cloud, the texts came up.
Oh my gosh.
So I believe there's evidence that way of text that happened. We'll find out a lot more of the stories as it goes along.
Not that I wish she was better at committing this crime, but why would you text it?
Well,
Not that I want to give her pointers, but you know what I mean?
That's very funny, yes.
Well, here's a question. If you delete a sent text, is it still on the cloud?
No, but you should have never sent the text.
Oh,
like,
I see what you're saying.
never have been. What are you doing?
Got it.
Brian's trying to figure out how to skirt around this. The answer
Yeah.
is don't send the text.
Again, I don't want anyone to get a pointer right now. But
Yeah.
oh my God, what are you doing?
I guess the lesson is don't be a scumbag. I got
Yeah.
it. I didn't think that was the route you were going. I was trying to be a scumbag and get away with it somehow. It's a terrible story. She was a soccer coach and she was a tutor at the time. And according to police, she'd been a volunteer soccer coach for both boys and girls since 2021. So she was at the school for a while, like 4 years. It wasn't like a new person coming in. And they believe this happened in 2023 in a classroom for tutoring session before school began, where she had contact with the boy. And now she's been arrested. Now, here's a quote from her. Says she denied having sex with the minor and claimed, quote, everybody comes after her because she's good looking. And she's just a good person who cared too much about the boy. In parentheses, the court documents, that's what they say in this situation.
Cared a lot about him.
Yeah.
Lots of care.
All these situations are gross, no matter what.
Yes.
I think there's always that guy will say, well, he probably, high-fived
We
with his dad.
literally already
or
have one of the texts. Where was this teacher when I was not good? He got sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
So
And she is attractive. I'll just say that. She is at 30 years old, and the kid was 15. But all you got to do is think about it the other way. If it was a male teacher and it was a 15-year-old girl, how would you feel then? You know?
Grooming exists. It's inappropriate. It's not okay. Vice versa, flip-floppy, not good. Okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like, and I think Case will agree with me.
Well, she says I won't agree with. Well, wait a minute.
I don't know. 'Cause I don't-
Wait a minute.
You're always like on a different thing.
What you got for me, Kenzie?
Wait, how do I delete those texts?
Mute Brian's microphone for a second. No. So teachers, like good teachers who are in it to teach, are saints. They're amazing. What I'm about to say is more of a one-off, kind of like this scenario.
Kenzie's about to
Okay.
hit teachers with a but.
Pero.
This one was a bitch.
But there's, when you go to especially when you get to the high school range, because I feel like this doesn't happen too much younger. When you're in the high school range, like this kid was 15, and there's the quote unquote hot teacher, male or female, right? Every once in a while, one of those teachers likes that too much.
Sure.
And they play into it. I had a female English teacher, and I felt like she would do certain things that was obviously going to provoke that commentary. I felt like she would highlight that commentary, and I'm like, you are way too excited that 16-year-olds are interested in you. It gives you the heebie-jeebies.
And
Yes, Case.
it's especially weird because when you're on the younger end of it, when you're a student, and I can only speak from my experience. I don't want to project on everybody else, but there were attractive teachers in my high school, and when you're 15 or 16, you earnestly believe, I think I get this 30-year-old to sleep with me. This is in the realm of possibility. You're not realizing that with the older perspective that you have, it's creepy in every sense. It's illegal, it's wrong, it's awful. But if you're a teacher feeding into that, especially, then it's really, really gross because the younger people don't have the perspective of, not being an adult and realizing that it's horrible.
Wait, which part of this wouldn't have I agreed with, Kenzie?
I think you also like attention from anybody who thinks you're attractive. So
Well, that's correct. Okay, I'm going to take that then. Good, thank you. You're right. I mean, listen, human nature, and everybody had a teacher that was, oh my God, she or he is hot. And there's that weird vibe that goes on there. And you're right. I think some teachers do like the attention that way. And it doesn't go to this level, of course. It doesn't go to this psychopathic level where you're abusing somebody, but it's just also a weird vibe because some teachers are 21 or I shouldn't say 21, but 23, and then some kid is 18. If it's not that far apart.
But it's still an authority position.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what
right.
I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's not right.
It's
not.
not.
Right at all.
Even because sometimes it's well, they're 18. It's no, and you shouldn't be if you're somebody interested in somebody the day they turn 18, you should also be arrested because they weren't 18 yesterday. Not good.
Yeah.
Well, Kayla brings up on the text line, and she's so right. There was that Downers Grove North gym teacher that married a student right after she graduated. What is in the water in Downers Grove?
I don't know. But
Wow.
Yeah, let that sink in, Kenzie.
is there a
Did
downer?
they solve their job?
I don't believe so.
That would be. I really hope not.
Is Downers Grove Confessions coming to HBO soon?
Yeah, I think that's the new series for the fall. The big hit.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Well, I've laid out how stacked we are today with the free stuff every hour, including coming up in Clash with Kenzie in about 15 minutes. We'll get you on the phones for an evening with Mark Hoppus from Blink-182. Just really exclusive night that we're going to get you there if you beat her in trivia. But first, before we move forward and get the sports and the Cubs game going on right now, we have to pour one out.
How do I say goodbye?
And this was an unusual double whammy pour one out because we already poured one out for him.
Really?
Yeah, we did this a long time ago because they declared bankruptcy, but now they declared it again because they try to get out of bankruptcy, but they're going to close all stores now, so it's over. Move on. It's like The Sopranos. It's over. It's done. And that store is Forever 21. And we're pouring one out today. They filed for bankruptcy. Forever 21 is ironically 40 years old, R.I.P. They've been struggling for years. Excuse me, I'm getting emotional about it.
Do you want to tell me about it? Was. Do you want to tell me about your Forever 21 memory since you're so broken up about this?
Got like a demon possessed you. Oh my God.
I will say that I walked outside of Forever 21 for years, and I never went in one. I've been in a Victoria's Secret. I've been in other women's brands, but I've never been in a Forever 21. And
Well, they sell men's clothing.
they do?
Yes, and kids' clothing and all. I mean, the very initial was women's, but I mean, Forever 21 became like huge. They started taking places of like anchor stores, like Mall of America, stuff like that became an actual anchor store in a lot of malls. And that's when they had men's clothing, a kids section, all that kind of stuff.
I did not know that. Never ventured in. I always saw women
A
leaving
lot of
there.
band shirts, huh, guys? Look at that. You would have liked it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Band
tons.
shirts?
I don't know. Look, Forever 21, do they sell men's clothes? Yes. Do they sell clothes for men shaped like me? No, they do not.
No, they don't.
I don't buy that case because my ex was not like,
What was he
Man,
like?
I can't wait for this. I can't wait for this.
I'm just saying, one of my exes was not like auditioning for Baywatch or anything, and he fit those clothes just fine.
I got the picture.
Similar build.
And that build is similar to what?
You.
Oh, okay.
I'm picturing
And
him.
him.
I'm picturing him in jams for some reason.
In jams?
Yeah, jams like the board shorts.
What are jams?
We call them jams, by the way. Board shorts at one point were called jams.
Huh?
You don't know that? Like, you dumb kids
I
around
thought you
here.
meant like pajamas. I'm like, do you call them that?
No, they were board shorts at one point were called jams.
What point? What year was that?
At some point in time in space.
1865.
Yeah, no kidding.
When they crossed the border in the Confederate Army, they were wearing jams.
They were wearing Billabong board shorts?
And you rode your horse to school? What the hell?
Yeah, go look at the old pictures of the Battle of Gettysburg.
Yeah, look at Robert E. Lee. Look at what he's wearing.
They're all wearing jams.
Good to know.
But Forever 21 gone. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who's gonna miss it. They of course everybody blames Temu and Shein for their business going out because they sell everything for $1 that looks like your stuff.
Can I ask a non-judgmental question? There's no tone behind this. There's no subtext. It's an honest, open question.
Which means it has all of that, by the way. Go ahead.
Do people actually buy stuff from Temu?
They must.
Is that a real thing people do?
I think they do because like it's 4 cents, and they're like, "Well, let's just roll the dice and see if it looks like this." It's almost like a lottery ticket.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I think it's almost trendy to see what you actually get because people are making a ton of money off of like their Temu hauls when they're like, you won't believe what actually showed up. So their video gets 4 million views.
Okay.
I can't tell you how funny it is though when someone tries to order like a wreath off of Temu. I don't know if you've seen this. They show the picture from the website and like say I ordered this wreath. And then it shows up in the mail and it's like a blanket with a front door picture on it and a wreath. Like it's like a photo background. Like it's like the image got sent to them of the product.
Wow. Well, like you said, you're gambling, or if it lasts one wearing for 4 cents, it's worth it. If you're at one night, it fell apart.
Temu is like a whole other world to me. Shein, I've seen, I get it. Their bathing suits are like $3. I'm not saying it's good for the world. I'm just saying I understand what's happening there. Not everything that shows up is bad. It's a 50-50. Temu seems like even rougher. Like it makes Shein look like maybe a luxurious brand, in my opinion.
So we have a text in 847, all caps. Temu is awesome.
See?
Yeah, so people are doing it because otherwise these businesses wouldn't be hurting. Unless,
Did you see the croissant lamp that went viral? Because it was a real croissant.
no, I did not see that.
Okay, it was
But
either
now I want a
Temu or
croissant.
Shein. Listen, it was either Temu or Shein, and it was like a light up, like you could turn it on, and it would light up, and it was a croissant lamp, okay? But it just sat there like a desk lamp. And a girl posted, because she was like, all these ants kept coming up to my croissant, and she goes, it is really realistic, and she was looking at it, and she kind of broke it, and she goes, it's a croissant with resin on it, and she ate part of it. She like bit it, and she goes, "Oh my god! Like this is a croissant with resin on it." Like,
good for her.
And it shredded like it's crazy because she got like $1 lamp, and it was just a real croissant.
Yeah. Well, remember, all you people that shopped at Temu took out Forever 21.
Are you going to head to the Forever 21 at Water Tower Place to say your goodbyes? Maybe I'm looking on their website right now at their men's clothing section. You can get a tank top that says "Don't touch me" for $13. You can get an Offspring Smash graphic tee
There you go.
for $21.
That's still pretty high if they're going out of business. $21? What the hell, guys? I mean, Drop it to 10.
Come on now.
So
You're
everything
like,
should,
there's no shipping. It's in person. Come on.
yeah, it should be $9.99. I'm going to go buy that shirt today, and I'll see if those Billabong snow pants are still available, too, that I wanted to buy.
The ones that Robert E. Lee wore in the battle.
That's right,
guys-
those jams.
Somebody just texted in and said, my son got his couch off Temu and he loves it.
There you go. That's going to kill the world. All your favorite stores.
Damn, Brian.
I know, yeah.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.